Okay, so this is just going to be a few tips and tricks for you when you start to build your area. So when it comes to any kind of room building, the best thing you could be using is the Live Object tool, which is up here. So once you've gone ahead and created your floor for your hub or cafe, whichever you're doing, please make sure that you're using polys for starters, and you can use interactive creation just to do the whole click and drag, which is a lot easier. Turning that off just makes it originate back at the 0 axis. So I'm just going to go ahead and just label this, as you should. And now that this is selected, come over to here. Select Live Object. This then makes it live. It even comes up with a notification. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab, say, my wall, which I'm going to use a cube for. And as I'm creating it, it's going to create it straight onto the plane itself. Now, once this is done, and you've gone ahead and you've created all your walls, these are going to be perfectly 0. So they won't be going through, they won't be hovering over, you won't get any weird shadows on rendering, it will be perfectly 0, which is what you want. And say you're going to be using openings, creating openings like doorways or, I don't know, say a window. Got to make sure that this is turned off, because that's the worst thing you can do, so I've turned it off. And I'm going to go ahead and get my insert edge loop. I'm going to put one here, one here. Let's just quickly make a window. So if you hear any drilling or hammering or anything like that, it's because I've got the workman in. So I'm just going to very quickly make this window. So it's going to be a very weird window. There you go. So say I wanted this to be my window, this space here. So I'm going to go to face, because I want the poly mode. And I'm going to select the face from the front. And holding down shift, I can do a multi-select. Okay, so both those are selected. I can delete those. And now I've got a nice hole going straight through my cube. And then I'm going to go back into edges. I'm going to select all the edges around this one. And select all the edges around there. And I should be able to go to Edit Mesh and then Bridge. And what that's done is it's created faces to fill in the gaps, and it's nice and quick. Now the rule of thumb is, in order to bridge correctly, whatever two areas you're trying to connect must have the same amount of edges. So this had 4 edges, and the other side had 4 edges, and that's bridged nicely. If it doesn't have the same amount of edges, it will just point blank refuse to do it. Also, these kind of extra divisions you can control from here. Turn it to 1. Oops, turn it to 1, or you could turn it to none, which in this case would be best. And there you go. That's how you can make rooms. Please try to follow these kinds of methods when you are building yours. It will prevent kind of odd shadowing, as well as any kind of flotation between the walls and the floor. The same for when you're doing your objects. See if you can create your base objects by extruding, but if you are creating sort of more complicated objects like the plant pots and such, then just import them as you normally would. Good luck, guys.